I don't think you would at this point. It's nice when you're young, and it's a novelty,
Even then,
but it wears away really fast.
Like, yeah, I would like. Yeah, I mean, even like I've always said, even if I was 20 again and owned a house, I would still have roommates.
Agreed.
Not just for the financial benefits, but for...
Which houses are expensive.
Yeah.
Can't find anything under $250 in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But I don't have to put any money down.
Yay for higher payments?
Doesn't really matter. I'll keep my monthly low. Honestly, the only thing that really roasts me is property tax, but I have to pay less of that too. So that's nice.
Sweet.
God bless you, Uncle Sam. You took my sanity, but I'd take your money at least a little bit. But yeah, so we've got some new guys that we're hopefully going to be involving.
Texas and no place else.
Yes. I'm curious to see if Orta keeps playing with everybody.
Okay, well, let's quit hyperfixating on that, and let's focus here.
Actually, so I'm going to do my first shot, if that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that we were doing more than one, but go right ahead.
Well, this is my first day off in a while, and I haven't been drinking. So I'm definitely going to go a little ham. My shot actually goes to those boys that came back, men and women, serving our country. Proud of you. You did good work. Welcome home. Let's grab a beer. You got one lined up?
I do. So my shot is going to go out to all of our social media, TikTok, Facebook, where it listens to everything we say and then presents us with the same idea that we want to hear, thus cementing us in our own beliefs and causing further divide in our country. Go fuck yourself, social media.
I hate doing little bottles like that.
I do too, but I've got like 5 more still, so.
I'll pour them in a shot glass or in like a glass.
Well, I was using my usual shot glass as a wine glass tonight.
Yes, Matt is a fancy bitch. He loves wine.
This is, well...
Kirkland's finest?
This is a bottle of wine. No. This is, so when me and my wife went on our honeymoon, we went out to the Black Hills, and they have some wineries out there. And so we went and did wine tasting one day, and found wine that I actually really enjoy because it tastes like grape juice and gets you drunk. And so when we were back out there for state wrestling, we went back there because went and saw Mount Rushmore, and we went back to the winery and found some new bottles that they had came out with new stuff. So we bought some new bottles.
Without trying it? The new ones?
No, we got to sample them.
Okay, cool. I was about to say, bold move.
Yeah, no, they had samples, and because otherwise we were just going to buy a bunch of what we already have or what we like.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, do you want some free samples of different stuff?" And we're like, "Why, yes, we do. My kids are in the car. I would love to drink."
I will say I have started liking wine a little more. There's a specific brand that Holly knows to get. Like, say when we have a really nice steak dinner, I do not mind a glass of red wine, even if it's a little dry, and I know what that tastes like now. It's weird. They're aged in whiskey barrels.
Okay. Well, and do you decant your wines? You know what that means?
Aerated?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Kind of.
It's putting oxygen.
Yes.
It's putting oxygen into the wine.
Changes the flavor. It does, though. That's weird.
It does, but it also... you were talking about it a while back, where the stuff that's in cheap alcohol that makes you hungover.
Mm-hmm. Tannins.
I don't remember what they're called. Tannins. When you decanter or aerate wine, it lowers the tannins, gets rid of some of the bitter taste, and makes you.
You get more of the fruit.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really interesting, the whole wine process. I want to be into wine. It's just like getting into beer your first time or whiskey your first time. You just have to keep drinking it.
Yeah. Yes and no. I don't know. I don't really want to be in wine just because there's so many snobby people about it.
That's fair. That's super fair.
You know, give me your finest $15 bottle of
Give
wine.
me your finest $99 bottle of wine.
Yeah. And so.
All right, so
But I just find it interesting. Like, I like supporting the local or the South Dakota type stuff. and
South Dakota's finest.
They make the good stuff.
So today is going to be what some would consider somewhat of a boring episode. We're not talking about aliens. We're not talking about how the eclipse didn't kill us. It didn't, unfortunately. I still have to pay my bills.
Good.
We're going to talk about something that I've had to deal with a lot recently, and I need help. It's not alcoholism, even though that's kind of a
Drugs.
thing. Yeah. Specifically, no sugar. Is that something? I don't know. Eyeball sugar. Leadership. Today we're talking about leadership. Because I've been recently thrust into a bigger leadership position than what I usually had. I used to be in charge of like 9 people, and now I'm in charge of like 39. And I don't really know what to do. The amount of information that just comes at me all at once, and then this person needs this person needs that, and it's just consistent and constant. It doesn't matter if I'm on or off the clock. They're texting me. They need this. They need that. And I've already gotten in trouble for some stuff. I had someone who needed to leave early because of their kid, because her husband was deploying, and they weren't letting her leave because a document wasn't signed. It was sent to the wrong person, and they couldn't route it. And it was just this huge fucking mess. So I did what I thought was best, which was barge into a room full of very high-ranking officials and like straight up ask them to change it. And someone did. It worked, right? Technically, they did change it, and I got her out early. But as a result for that, I got in a lot of trouble for just doing that. I think I did the right thing, but I'm led to believe I did the wrong thing.
Who were you led to believe that by?
The people who yelled at me a lot. My leadership.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, they say it,
But I haven't gotten any feedback from it because it's not something I advertised out there. We're like, oh, I can't look at this thing that I did for my person. No, I'm just going to do it and then eat the punishment and walk away, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes that's what you do.
But
Sometimes that's what being a good leader is about. It's not what's best for you or what's best for the company or anything like that. It's what's best for your individual at that time. I mean, it's not like and it's so different because we're not talking about wartime leadership. We're not talking about, because those are very different things. So
it's an adjustment for me because I was always just the kind of guy, I like taking directions, right? I like being told what to do. You need to do this by this time. Lovely. I'll take it. And so being the guy that tells them you need to do this at this time is getting to me. I don't know how to handle it. And I don't know how to like be someone's boss at all. I don't know how to cause that disconnect.
so have you tell me about a good boss that you've had.
I had my first Chief Morton. I look up to him a lot. I draw a lot of stuff from him, but he conventionally would be seen as a dick.
Okay.
Just by the way he held himself and treated everyone. Now, and you also have to remember, all the people I'm in charge of came to the Air Force with me, right? Because we're reservists, we stay together almost our whole careers. So they've seen me like, put ones in a stripper's ass and drink until I fell unconscious and told bad jokes, in the lunchroom. You know what I mean? Like, they've seen me just be this piece of shit, and then now all of a sudden I'm their boss.
Well, and everybody's allowed to evolve. You think? I mean, you said the one guy, Chief, was a dickhead. But you said he was also a good leader. So what made him a good leader?
Everything got done on time, and he always took care of you. If you went to Chief, like you knocked on his door, and you're like, Chief, I need this. It got done. It always got done. That was a thing. Or you needed advice, he'll tell you exactly what you need to do, in his opinion.
That's not a good thing.
No?
You should never tell people what to do.
But it's the military. You tell people what to do.
Well, but not you can tell people what to do in a military aspect, like you need to go run here, you need to do this, you need to do that, but like you need to go divorce your girlfriend because she's cheating on you, or your wife, or
he wouldn't.
you need to go get a DNA test, or you need to quit talking to your brother. Like that's where I mean, you shouldn't give anybody advice.
I'll be honest. Chief never gave us personal advice.
Okay, so that's very different then.
Now that you say that, the only personal conversation I had with Chief was about dogs, training dogs, his kids, and big booty bitches. And it was the most awkward. That third one was the most awkward conversation I've ever had. Young Thomas driving Chief to the rental car place because his car broke down, and we were just kind of chit chatting, and a well-endowed woman walked by, and he saw me look and keep looking, and he's like, you like big booties, huh, son? And I'm like, Chief, please, let's not do this. Let's not talk about this.
So you didn't go into the Sir Mix-a-Lot song?
No, I should have. I was so uncomfortable. I respected him like a ton, I wanted to keep a good impression and make a good impression, which is jokes on me. I had a bad impression. Anyways. But I look up to him a lot. And all of the leaders that I've had that have made an impactful impact on how I do my job and how I carry myself, I, at the time, viewed them in kind of a negative light. And then it's only retroactively looking back do I see, they weren't being mean to be mean. I just needed that kind of discipline to improve.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a colonel who was a major at the time, and she rode me like I was a star stallion, right? Every day, something different.
This is PG content here. We don't need to talk about your sexual conquest.
Is a star stallion as in like how you ride a horse, okay? You made it sexual. Yeah. She rode me, right? Like ragged. And I hated her. I hated her guts. God damn it, did I hate her guts. And then it's only now, like, that she's gone, I'm thinking I'm as good of a flyer as I am because of her.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be disliked like that. I don't want to be that guy that's just a dick. I don't think I can be.
So are you telling me that you've had 0 people who, well, I can tell you why they became dicks. You're telling me that you've had 0 people who have been superiors that you've really enjoyed or learned from that weren't assholes?
Any superior that I've learned from has been an asshole. The ones that I've enjoyed, they've taken care of me, but I don't think I've really learned much from them. Or it has not become apparent yet. Besides maybe how I should treat my troop, right? I've had a couple really good first-line supervisors that were very personal and treated us really well and took care of us, but it was still like...
Well, I hate to break it to you, but the problem might not have been them then.
Oh, no, I was a piece of shit. I get that.
So they might not have had to be dicks to everybody. They might have just been a dick to you.
It's very possible. It is. But it's what I needed.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't have to be a dick to be a good manager or to be a good leader.
I'm trying to figure that out, my boy.
Trying to figure out what?
How to be a good leader without being a dick.
Well, some people you're going to have to be. Some people only respond to that.
And I have one. I have a Thomas.
And then you're also going to have an Amy Santiago.
I have 3.
Yep.
One more than the rest, but yeah. Oh, I never thought about looking at it like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Huh.
So you were the Charles.
Was I?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's not what you're going to say.
Probably the more Hitchcock and Scully.
Maybe, actually. Just with improvement.
I mean, they might have only had 8 arrests this year, but that's 4 more than they had last year. They only had 4 arrests last year?
I was always a good hard
Thomas
worker.
might have only saved 8 lives this year, but that's 4 more than he saved last year. He only saved 8 lives last year.
That's a lot of lives. Any life saved is a lot of lives. Calm down.
Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. I never thought about looking at it in that light. Not everyone fits into that motif, right?
Into what motif?
Like the different characterizations that is portrayed in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No. There's a lot of unique and different people in different situations, and but that just shows you how each person needs something different. Some people are going to be on the right paths and just need support and validation, knowing that they're doing the right things. Some people need somebody fucking to bark at them and make them wear a tie and be a dick, and and so it's
Even
really
now.
have to learn.
Yeah.
You really have to learn more what they need, and leading people is more about what they need and what you're doing to help them.
It's just so tough because they're all bundled together, right? They usually do the tasks I assign together as a group, which I love. I love that because they feed off each other and they get shit done. But what I have to do for one person, I don't have to do for the other, or can't do for the other. Like, I have people, I can tell them what to do. Like, I need you to do this by this time. It'll get done. They're going to bitch and complain about it the whole time, but it's going to get done. And then I have people that I tell them to do that, and I get hit with the why. Which is okay, But then now I have to
Why
sit.
is it okay?
Because I like to think that you should ask why. Right? Because I asked why a lot as a kid, and I got shot down a lot because I said so. That's
But you're
annoying.
not kids.
I know, but still.
These are grown adults. Like, you should be able to figure out why you're doing something.
And for the most part, they do.
I mean, especially depending on the tasks. But and the other thing, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
And then the big thing that I've been hit with is because my people are not qualified flyers yet, most of them at least. And so we get assigned all the bitch work. Inventory, cleaning certain areas, doing certain things. We're the ones that have to do it. And they ask why, and I give them the God honest truth. It's because we're at the bottom of the totem pole. There's no one else to do it.
Yeah.
We all pay our dues. We all got to do it. I did it, and I still do it because I'll do it with them. If it's something that's really bullshit, I won't ask them to do it if I'm not there doing it with them. But now in this position, I can't do that anymore. I can't be the guy that goes and does the shit task with them because I just don't have the time. If I did all the tasks with them and then all the extra stuff I have to do, I'd be there till like 10 o'clock at night every night.
Have you ever given the either or, making it feel like they have an option in what they're doing?
No, I haven't. Can you...
So, like, you got shitty things you got to do around the house, and well, I'm going to use around the house just because it's examples that all of us can use.
Yeah.
All right. So today we need to vacuum, we need to do the dishes, and we need to dust. Cool, Thomas. So these are the 3 things we need to do. What one would you prefer to take care of? Well, I want to dust. Cool. I'm going to go take care of vacuuming, or go to the next person. Okay, so he's going to dust. We got vacuuming, and we got to clean the kitchen. Which one would you prefer to do? Well, I'm going to go vacuum. Cool. I'm going to go clean the kitchen then. And so then it's a lot easier to take responsibility for something when you feel like you have a say in it, as opposed to if you just walked in and you're like, all right, Bill, you're going to dust, Brady, you're going to clean the kitchen, and Bobby, you're going to vacuum. Because Bobby might be like, fuck you, I don't want to vacuum. Or
Yeah.
and then they're gonna bitch. Well, how come he gets to vacuum? I always want to vacuum. Cool. This is the stuff that we need to do. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Making it more, and then you're being a part of the team too. And you might take some of the shitty stuff, but it needs to be done.
And I don't
And
mind
it'll
doing
start
shit
showing.
work.
Well, but then it'll show that you're a team player with them, though, too. And it'll help build that trust and camaraderie. So then the times when you're too busy to do it, you'll know. We're like, hey, I can't do this right now. Can you take care of it for me? Yep, I got you.
That's a good idea. I could do that. I could actually do that really well. And then, of course, I'm at the point, too, where I'm appointing team leads, you know, because I have so many people, and a lot of them get appointed for me, and some of these people are not leaders, you know.
Well, some of them might surprise you that they are, and they just have never been put in a leadership position.
There's certain pet peeves that I have.
Well, that's you, not them.
Yes, but it's also pet peeves that other people have. So let me give you an example. We had someone who was sitting there. She was working on a travel voucher. Someone who's of the same rank of her, but in an actual flying position, walks up to her, hands her a baby mannequin, and says, "Put this in that closet over there," which was, 10 feet from the both of them. And then she walks back into her office. To me, the person who gave her that task, there was no point in that. There was you could go walk in the fucking closet and do that. And I had to talk with her about that. And I'm like, don't ever do that again. Was the gist of it. You know,
Yeah.
I have people like that will just delegate any menial task whatsoever because they just don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sounds
Or-
like my wife.
Careful.
We're sitting in the living room. Hey, can you run downstairs and get me a box of this?
Yeah. You're just like, oh my God, is that 2 legs on you that I see?
Are you not able to walk downstairs? Like, I can understand if like I was down there or something. But
Yeah, exactly. And or if it's a really big task that you need help with, getting their help. But I fucking hate that shit, and I've lit people up for it. Don't tell them to do menial things just because you don't want to do it.
yeah.
And I've gotten in trouble for lighting people up for that because I get really heated, and I approach some situations the wrong way. So that's something I know I have to work on, that I'm working on actively.
Oh. Nobody's perfect.
And what makes me feel better at the end of the day is that everyone because I was in this section and now I'm in this section, right? I was in a little bubble, now I'm in a big bubble. That little bubble is still in my bubble. It's just not my little bubble anymore. And inside my big bubble is a bunch of other little bubbles. Are you tracking? No? Did I lose you?
Well, you're just talking a lot about bubbles, but go
My
ahead.
9, my 39. Everyone in my 9 vouches that I was a great leader, a great supervisor. They were like, he was really, like, I took care of him, right? And I did my best. And now that's a thing that makes me feel good, but I don't feel like I can do that anymore, right? I have to appoint someone else to do it. And it's like worrying because, like, I don't know if this person is going to do it right to how I do it. That doesn't mean they don't do it right. It's just, I don't know.
Well, but how are you going to know if they don't get the opportunity to do it right?
It's true.
And just as you're learning and have learned and are failing and working on improving, they're going to do the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I guarantee you a lot of them haven't been in leadership roles and haven't had any kind of leadership training, you know, and probably don't have an awesome, well-experienced friend who's able to talk them through how to even think about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just need more experience. I'm excited for the opportunity. You know, I think it's really...
Experience is going to help. How much, I mean, and read a book or two about being an effective leader.
I should. I really should. I want to do better.
Or listen to a podcast, or, you know,
I just need
or
overall...
just listen to me.
I'm used to someone that this is the crux of the issue. It's on me, but I'm used to someone telling me how to do something and then just doing it. And I don't have that anymore. You know?
Welcome to being an adult.
It sucks. It fucking sucks and I hate it and I want to die, but yeah.
nothing of that is compared to having to decide what to eat for every meal for the rest of your fucking life.
Sandwiches.
That's
Done.
That couldn't. No, because every day you want something different.
Yeah, a different kind of sandwich.
As long as we're talking like burgers and things like that, I could probably be on board.
If it just has to be between two slices of bread.
Huh? I don't know. I kind of like having a tortilla more than I like a sandwich. I like a Mexican sandwich more than a regular sandwich.
There is such a thing called a Mexican sandwich. It's called a torta, but we won't get into that. Really? A tortilla? I mean, I guess if it's a flaky, fluffy tortilla, that's a little different.
No, not flaky and fluffy. Just a regular.
Like Mission brand tortilla?
Yep. And I can eat anything off of them.
They taste gross.
They're not that bad.
They taste gross. They taste
And they're a lot healthier for you.
gross.
They don't.
They do.
I even do the carb balance one, so they've got a bunch of fiber in them.
I mean, that's good for you. I'm really happy you're doing that. That's good for your health. I would rather not even use bread and just eat meat with cheese and a roll up than put a tortilla around it.
And you can do anything with it. You can do like ham and cheese inside of it with mustard, or you could do turkey and ham and mustard, or I do hot chicken with like buffalo sauce. I'll do chicken nuggets inside with cheese. I mean, I'll do fucking barbecues, pulled pork. I've done brisket with barbecue sauce.
Do you make roast? Quick segue, really fast.
Oh, of course. Segway.
What do you put? My mom did something controversial yet delicious this evening for dinner. What do you put on your roast when you put it in the oven?
When I put it in the crock pot?
However you make it.
I do crock pots I do
Which is
roast in the crock pot. So when I make them, we've got this roast packet with seasonings,
Good.
and I mix that with 12 ounces of beer,
Oh.
and put the roast seasoning packet in there, put my roast in. I do like to sear the roast on the outside to get some more flavor out.
Good. All good things.
You're supposed to put onion, and I would prefer to put onion in it, but my kids don't like onions, so I don't put onions in.
Onion powder and stuff. Yeah.
But then I'll just put the roast in after I sear it with the 12 ounces of beer in the packet, and then potatoes and carrots.
Okay. Nothing else, right? That's it. That's good.
Nope. Set it on high or low, depending on how long I have.
My mom does the same thing, but instead of beer, she uses beef broth, right? Oh, you've never tried the beer thing. I'm actually going to try the beer thing now. That sounds fucking delicious.
Beef broth is really good,
But
I like the beer.
She did it in the oven, and on the last hour, she glazed it in barbecue sauce. The top of the roast. It fucking blew me away today because the broth was still all savory, but the top was all sweet. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
I'd never even thought of that. It blew my. It's almost like a meatloaf layer, that like layer of sauce at the top, but barbecue sauce.
You ever made smoked meatloaf? You ever had smoked meatloaf? So you make like a meatloaf, like I did. I think I did like a 3-pound one. So I did a pound of sausage and then 2 pounds of ground beef, and I mix it all together, with an egg and the breadcrumbs, and
so you make a legitimate loaf
in there, like making a loaf. Pack it all up. And I put it on the smoker for 3 hours, and then for the last 30 minutes, I put barbecue sauce and glaze it over with barbecue sauce. It's so fucking good.
It does sound pretty good.
So fucking good.
But
So you get like smoked and then barbecue sauce. And, yeah.
That does sound really good, actually.
I'm excited. It's getting into smoker season now.
It is. It is here now. It is smoker season now.
Well, yeah. It got up to 60 today, so I could probably start, but it's just the weather's been so fucking crazy around here. We were in the 80s at one point, like a month ago, and we've had snow since then.
Yeah, it's been a little fucky down here. We were in the 70s, and then we were in the 70s, and then we were in the 60s, and then we were in the 80s. Super crazy fun, crazy wacky time.
Yep.
Super hot.
Global warming.
It's been freezing outside.
Yeah.
50 degrees. Cold as shit.
Warming.
That's good to know. But yeah, being a leader sucks. I don't like it.
It does. That's why I've gotten actually out of leadership positions, and like I'd been offered to get into more leadership positions, and I've chosen not to.
I get why.
It's hard, and especially like in sales positions, like it's definitely different in your type of role, but like in sales positions, a lot of it, your income is based off of how well you can convince somebody else to make more money, and if they're just a fucktwat, you're fucked.
It's fair.
You know, so.
I don't know. There's always the backup for me that I guess you wouldn't have, and it's that because I really try to explain and ask and be nice about it, but at the end of the day, if I tell you to fucking do something, you're gonna do it. It's not a debate. It never will be. I try to make it welcoming and okay and warm, but it doesn't have to be. And I did that today. I had to, because someone just wasn't, he was being me, you know, he just wasn't about it. And I was like, you're going to do it, and if you don't, you're going to stay here until you do it. And he did it. Now he's mad at me, but I don't care if he's mad at me, right? Like, at the end of the day.
Wait, so you were a dickhead and you didn't care?
He put me to the point where I didn't care.
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to the world.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You tell me Chief wasn't, like, normally an asshole? Like,
Probably not. And he could have been. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of people that are complete assholes.
I didn't dislike him. He was just mean to me.
Yeah. Was he mean to everybody?
No.
Yeah.
Huh. Damn it. That is something to think about. I mean, I'm glad for personal growth, because no one's mean to me now anymore. Especially even my senior leadership. They really like me. It's really weird. They're like, Sergeant McCohen, you really get your stuff done. I was like, you're supposed to. Like, I don't know. Interesting.
This is a job. You're paying me to be here. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Not only that, but it's a job I take a lot of pride in. Something that really gets to me, that didn't used to get to me, that gets to me now, is people not being in regulations for the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
That has started to get to me more and more as I've grown older. It's
Wearing a tie to work.
Shut up. So, someone got their new flight suit issued to them, right? When you go to flight school, you get your flight suit issued. So when you're done with a certain phase of training, you can put it on and you feel good, and this is it. And then you have an empty spot for your wings, and when you earn your wings get put on, right? It's a whole tradition. He got his new flight suit. He was really excited, and then he put it on at the unit.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I walk out and I see him in the flight suit, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I had to take a minute, because I think I would have flown off the handle if I hadn't. And if he's a good guy. Like, I really like this one. He gets his shit done. He doesn't complain. He's smart. He's smarter than me. And I had to just bring it in, because it made me really upset to see him wearing it before it was his time to wear it. You know? And I was like, dude, can't wear it yet. You gotta go through school first. He's like, oh, sir, I'm so sorry. And he went and changed right away. But like a couple years ago, I would have given 2 fucking shits, and now I care. Like, what's up with that?
Well, but did he know?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if he knew.
I mean, so you can't be mad at somebody for something that they didn't know.
Yeah, and I get he's excited to wear it. We all always are.
But I think you also will probably have changed in the last few years with wearing that fight suit in the respect that goes behind it.
It's pretty cool.
Like, you know.
I don't think the schooling's necessarily really hard either, but it's still something you had to go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had to earn it. And he's going to earn it. There's, like, no doubt in my mind. That guy's going to, if not distinguished graduate, he's going to be top 3. Like, he's going to fucking earn it. Just had his baby. Just a fucking...
He's one of them, huh?
Just a straight shooter. He had a baby. Had a baby, and he was really worried because he had the baby, like, 3 weeks ago. And he's like, the baby's going to forget me. It's like, bitch, the baby can't see till it's 4 months old. Like, it's not going to forget shit. It's a baby. He'll be back. Like, yeah. But... taking the time and being like, no, dude, I get it, but it's going to be okay. You know, so-and-so did the same thing, and they have a great relationship with their kid. Not saying what's in my head is the hardest part.
That, I mean, there's a lot of techniques that you can go through with people, too, and, like, the feel, felt, found method.
I think I'll get sued if I feel, felt, and people. Go.
So, well, no, but you just say to them, you know, hey, I understand you're feeling anxious about, you know, leaving. I've dealt with a lot of airmen who have felt the same way. You know, they've been anxious about leaving their kids. And what a lot of them have found is that being away actually helps strengthen their bonds, you know, instead of just saying, it's going to be fine, you're going to be fine, quit being a little bitch, or, you know, I mean, or even being nice about it. You validate how they're feeling. You tell, you know, it's feel, felt, found.
I like that. I think I'm going to use that. Who is that from? Where do you get all this information from? No, there's no way you came up with a fucking acronym for being a leader. I refuse to believe it.
How is that an acronym? There's
or like
3 fucking words.
You know what I mean. That sounds way too fucking professional. Buddy,
I have been through a lot of management training. I have spent a lot of time in management.
I
fucking hated it.
That's why I asked you about this. That's the thing, though. I don't like it, but I don't hate it.
I hate people.
I don't hate people, though. Yeah.
I was pushed into management positions too early in a lot of the roles that I was in, and I didn't have the experience I needed just in the field, let alone in as being a manager. And so I struggled a lot. I struggled with being a good leader, being a good manager, and just trying to do the job. I mean, and I've got a leader that I'm dealing with right now who is a super, super nice guy, but he's gotten into a role that he doesn't have enough knowledge to be in at this point.
I think that's something I was afraid of, personally. But I've been doing this for 6 years.
I think that you're just being a chicken shit.
I think so.
You've got plenty of knowledge upon all of your stuff.
And as I started teaching more, I felt better about it. Mm-hmm. But it took some convincing.
I mean, there's always, like, I always say there's three stages you go through when you're learning something new and, like, going through stuff like that. I mean, whether it's a new job, a new hobby, and it's the time where you don't know what you don't know, where, like, you don't know enough about being there to even know the right questions to ask. Then you're going to get to a point where you know what you don't know. And so somebody's going to be like, hey, do you know how to do this? And you'll be like, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how to deal with that. Or I don't know how to do that. And I mean, everybody's different, but it takes time to get into that where you know what you don't know. And then it's going to take a while longer, and you get to the point where you know what you know.
Yes.
And you know you're comfortable and you're good. And it's a transition. And, you know, I mean, they say it takes about, 10,000 hours to become an expert at something, which is about 4 to 5 years.
Okay. So I guess that time's out pretty fucking good. Because I do feel very confident in my job and a lot of things that involve the Air Force. I feel really confident. So, like, they'll ask me, hey, sir, what is this DD form? What is this for? It's like, oh, that's an award form. Let me help you fill that out. I've done a few. Like,
yeah.
It's interesting. They're like...
See, and they're at the point where, do they know what they don't know? Or
they don't know what they don't know, a lot of them. Yeah. And I do have some that know what they don't know. That's a really good way to look at it, because I've never thought about that. And that's true. I have a lot that are, like, on the cusp, right? Like, they know how to do the job for the most part, but they're just not 100% sure on some stuff. Mm-hmm. And so just nurturing them and helping them through that, that's been
helping them
tough.
build confidence and getting getting more and more used to it. And
There's also a point, though, that I've learned, and it sucks to say this out loud, but some people were just not made for this job. At the end of the day, that is
why
just
does it suck?
it.
Why does that suck?
Because some of them really want to be here,
So
and they bust their ass, and it's just a struggle the whole time. Whereas in this other guy who just showed up is way more proficient than they are, just by natural who he is as a person. It just sucks to see like they're struggling against the simplest things.
Naturally better as a nurse.
It's naturally. It's not even the nursing part, because the medical part comes and goes. That's whatever. It's the flying aspect, and it's the being able to look someone in the eyes and tell them to sit down and shut the fuck up. A lot of people can't do that, but you have to be able to do that. What?
A lot of people shouldn't have kids then. It's like 90% of my job as a dad.
Is it?
Telling people to sit down and shut the fuck up. Like, yeah.
Like a lot of people just don't have the ability to look at a colleague and say, "I think you're wrong, and this is why." They just kind of roll over.
Well, yeah, conflict is not something that a lot of people are comfortable with. I mean, but it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, we've taught everybody to avoid conflict at all costs. Your generation is raised on zero conflict and participation trophies.
I think schools should have like an arena night where they just like go at it.
For sure. Kids should have a fight club.
I did growing up in high school.
Well, everybody did in high school, especially when Fight Club came out.
Well, you were alive when Fight Club came out. I wasn't, so there's that too.
Yep. That's why I'm awesome and you're worthless.
I think I'm pretty great. Hopefully. I got some awards.
Your airmen would disagree.
My airmen love me, actually. It's the in-betweens that disagree. So, like, the rank structure, think of it like I have this bundle of airmen, I have this bundle of sergeants, and then I have me, and it's the bundle of sergeants that don't agree with me a lot of the time. It's the people who used to be my peers.
Gotcha.
And I think there's some issues with that. Like, I promoted fast, I got to my position fast, you know.
You said you've been there for 6 years. That's not fast at all.
That's fast for us? I don't know. They've been there just as long and they aren't in that position, you know. And the
Funny how people say that they want to cheer for you and see you succeed until you actually start succeeding more than they do, and then they want to see you fucking fail.
And then some of the people that I would think wanted to see me fail have been my biggest supporters this whole time. They're like, "I'm so proud of you. You're fucking killing it." And I'm like, "What?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's eye-opening. It's awesome. A buddy of mine just made Master Sergeant. I am beyond proud of him. He is definitely either going to be a CEO or a politician. That's just the way he is. But, man, I got him a nice bottle of scotch for it. I spent way too much money. We had a glass in my office, you know. We talked about leadership and some other stuff. And then we talked about big booty bitches because we're still children at heart.
Speaking of big booty bitches, I'm gonna segue into this. So, my son says to me tonight as we're getting home, my oldest, "Dad, what does BBC mean?"
Oh no.
Like, what do you mean? What does that mean? Because what does it stand for? I was like, I don't know. What do you think it stands for? And he goes, I don't know. Somebody said something with black in it. I'm like, oh, well, I thought it stood for the British Basic Cable.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
I mean, that's not what I thought it was, but that's what I told him I thought it was. And I'm like, well, who brought that up to you? And so he says his friend, and do you tell a 10-year-old what BBC stands for? Well, first of all, because then there was the other debate, because I've always had one thing, and maybe it's a dirty gamer thing, but what does BBC stand for to...
Big black cock.
Thank you.
It's not a gamer thing, it's just a porn thing. It's literally a category in porn.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I asked my wife, and I don't know if she was lying to me or not wanting to admit it, but she's like, isn't it big bulging cock? I was like, I don't know if you're lying or not. I think you are. because everybody knows what it stands
Big
for.
black cock. It's big black cock.
And
I have a segue for this segue. Don't let me forget that.
My son then says that he thought it was Big Booty Club.
That's fine too. That's not too bad.
I'm good with that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I'm just like, because obviously the one kid that he heard it from, he is also the one that told my son what the N-word was.
He should know what the N-word is, so he doesn't say it.
Well, he should.
He's at that age, that pre-junior high age.
But I don't know. It's like, all right, there's a lot of bad stuff coming out of one kid at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely don't, or do.
My wife was like, you need to probably quit talking to this kid.
That's gonna make him want to talk to him more.
No, it doesn't. He didn't go to this kid's birthday because he talks about a lot of inappropriate stuff that makes me uncomfortable.
Damn, I love your kids. Fuck.
That one kind of got me though. I'm like, quit being a pussy.
Well, yeah, but if you're gonna be a pussy, be a pussy right now. And
yeah, I don't know. He needs to get hard. We need to send him to the Will Ferrell camp to get hard.
No, just set. I do send him to middle school. It'll happen, and it'll happen rough. And
that's exactly what I'm scared of is how soft he is right now, and then going to middle school is going to be really hard on him.
But he's a fucking tough kid though. Like knowing him as much as I do, he's a fucking tough kid, and he's aggressive.
I tell you what, his brother's a lot more aggressive than he is.
Yeah, he is.
We put boxing gloves on Sunday, and I was just kind of stinking around with him in the basement pretending to box. And I tapped him a few times. I mean, it wasn't anything hard, wasn't knocking heads back or anything, and after each one, he'd get teary-eyed, and, my youngest, I had him come and pretend to, go at me a little bit. I knocked him a few times, and he just got pissed and growled at me and came flying in harder.
And
that doesn't help you at all.
That's just his temperament, that's just who he is as a person. Yeah. You can train him to push that, because I'm a very soft person as well. I was the same growing up. And my dad...
You weren't. You used to beat people up.
Yeah, my dad worked it out of me when I was a kid. And I had two older brothers who also worked it out of me. I still get that way. Like, when I get into a fight, I get all teary-eyed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get emotional and cry, but it's afterwards or during while I'm beating the fuck out of
Yeah, when I'm winning. But that's okay. Like, he'll learn to be tough. That's just how... It just sucks that the only way to learn to be tough is to be in tough situations.
Yeah.
I was going to say something in real...
We're going to segue.
But what were we talking about when I wanted to segue? Oh, I was hit with a situation that I didn't know how to respond with, and it is related to porn. Okay. And it was someone I work with. I won't specify anything. Actually, it's someone I work with, civilian, not military. He's engaged. They've been engaged for a few months. They've been together for about a year and a half. And someone, an unknown number, sent him a link to Pornhub. And he opened it. It was a link from a throwaway account on Instagram. And he opened it, and he saw a video of his future wife being railed. Yeah. And then, morbid curiosity, he opened the account, and it was her and an ex-boyfriend, and they had dozens of videos. It was all consensual. Like, they did it as a hobby. What the fuck do you do after seeing that?
Like me personally? Or him?
Just in general. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to think.
I couldn't be with somebody like that.
I brought it up at work, and I got a female perspective on it. And I don't know. I didn't necessarily agree with what they were saying, because they were very much like, yeah, you go, girl. You put your stuff out there. And I was like, I don't know if that's... And I said it out loud. I was like, I don't know if that's someone I would want to be with.
Nope.
was very.
I don't want that. Do you want that to be the mother of your children? Like, I have zero issues with her if she wants to do that. If her and her boyfriend, whatever, if that's what they're into, that's how they made money. Like, I am not going to judge you for what you choose to do. That's 100%. You are free to do what you want. This is a free country, and
But I'm not going to start a life with you.
exactly. But you're not going to be the mother of my children. I'm not going to bring you home to meet the mom that I don't have. You know, that's me personally.
I'm glad we're on the same page because I was definitely the outlier in the conversation. I was like, I wouldn't be okay with that. And a lot of the people I work with were like, no, that's fine. And, it's in the past, blah, blah, blah. She grew as a person. And like,
it's not in the past. It's on the internet.
yeah. That's, I don't know.
Like,
it didn't vibe well with me.
I'm very conservative with stuff like that, though.
Me too.
I know that it's a changing demographic and a changing way of looking at it for a lot of people, but I think there's a lot of people that it's not changing. Like, I think there's a lot of people that are very, very conservative with stuff like that.
As I think they should be.
As do I. I mean, I don't think it's something to be exploited. I mean, could you even do somebody with, like, if a girl, like, I mean, let's say that there wasn't even sex, if somebody just had an OnlyFans account,
No.
No,
not at all.
What about like a foot fetish account where there wasn't even their face?
No. Well, no.
I could maybe do the same thing.
I'm like on the fence, but I think I'm still no.
If there was enough money and you never got like traced back, like I'm conservative until it comes to a fucking vote.
There's just a part of me that doesn't want to think about other men jerking off to my significant other.
Well, other men that are jerking off to your significant other, whether you want them to or not.
That's fair.
It's whether you're fueling them,
Yeah, enabling.
readily providing them material to. But then again, I really don't understand feet, so I find that such an odd fetish.
And maybe if you really liked feet, then it would bother you.
Maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting work text messages now, like constantly, all the time.
Well, you don't have to look at it while we're on the podcast.
I'm sorry. It just bugs me. I'm trying to learn how to balance work and home life too. Because even Holly got mad at me yesterday. She was like, "Hey, is everything okay?" Because my phone was just going off, and I was like, "Yeah, it's just this, and then this person with that, and this person with that, and it's important, but it's not. It is. Sometimes it's an actual emergency.
Right that moment.
I'm trying to be better.
It's an actual emergency. Call me.
Sometimes they do, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I am ready to fulfill this role in a bigger way. I want to. This is the first time ever that I've wanted to be here and wanted to go further. Right? I want to be chief one day. I want to be in charge of everyone. I want to actually run my unit, but I'm not in any way ready for that at all.
Here's a question for you. What's the highest rank an enlisted soldier can make it to?
Chief. For us, Chief Master.
That's in the Air Force?
Yes.
What is it in the Army?
Chief, maybe? Command Sergeant Major? I don't know.
There was a question on a commercial.
I'm honestly not sure. But that's what I do. That's what I want. That's one of my long-term goals for my career is to make chief.
Sweet.
That's it for me. I want to do that. I want to run my specific unit.
How many more ranks do you have to get there?
I'm about to make E6. That's a guarantee. So 7, 8, 3. But it's like leveling up in a video game. The higher you go, the harder it is.
I get it.
I didn't think that would be something that I would ever want. I thought I'd peak and I'd be done. But as I get more into it, like, no, I want to run it. Like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I've made changes, and I've made good, positive changes, I think, and I've been told they're positive, and I'm excited. for the future. Excited to see where things go, but it's hard.
You're not going to bail on the Lost Legions when they're stuck on Mars?
Nope. Be right there. Yeah. I just need more experience, I think, to
Yeah.
have the hard
That takes
conversations.
time. Well, and I mean, and there's more layers on top of being a good leader that you're going to develop, because the further you get from the bottom, like, the more you're going to have to rely on other people to do.
Yeah, and it's
That.
tough. I have some people I trust with my life, and I have some people I wouldn't trust to watch my fucking cats. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
So, all right, but we are at time. It is 10:02. It has been another fantastic episode of the Sailing Beer podcast. I did drink my full bottle of wine,
Proud of you.
so
There it is.
I didn't want to be a liar,
Okay.
you know. But thank you all so much for stopping by. Thomas, do you have a glimpse into what next week's podcast is going to be about?
So we won't know when Kay's done with the book until she's almost there, and she has to finish Morningstar. She has 3 hours left on it, so that does take precedence. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. She has to finish.
Morningstar?
Yeah,
Book 3 in Red Rising?
yeah. She's already on book 3. She fucking loves it.
Okay.
So I told her, "Oh, finish that first." But she's got the
Yeah.
fourth wing.
Was she going to do... Well, I mean, is she going to go Iron Gold, Dark Age, and then...
I told her
Lightbringer?
I told her I was going to read Lightbringer and let her know. But you can give her some advice too. If Lightbringer ends on a cliffhanger, I'm going to tell her no.
I mean, it's not a cliffhanger, but it's a...
This is what is to come.
Yes. Like, there's a lot of openness left.
As long as it's not like Golden Sun, because that wrecked me for like 2 years straight.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
But yes, whenever she's done, we're actually going to do a side-by-side comparison of Red Rising and the Fourth Wing. It's going to be really interesting from a female perspective as well. The differences in the writing, the storytelling, and the descriptions. It's going to be really cool. Until then, I don't have an idea yet, but I can come up with one. I did want to talk about some more spooky stuff, which we should probably have her on for as well, but we'll see.
Okay. And with all the people coming back from deployment, maybe your one friend
What's her name?
has the famous TikTok account.
What?
Not
Oh,
Agatha.
you want Hartman on here?
Yeah, why not?
You want Abby? All right, we can ask her.
I just think it would be interesting to have a conversation with her, and she seems nothing against Egg, but Egg is like just a more manly version of you.
Thanks. I'm gonna clip that.
So, she does a lot of interesting TikToks that I'd like to berate.
I can ask Abby about getting on.
Maybe. We'll see. Lots of possibilities. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. This has been a fantastic episode. We appreciate you all so much. If you are not catching us on Apple Podcasts, feel free to stop by the live streams, chat with us on either Twitch or YouTube. We hope you have a wonderful evening. And Thomas, tell them the final words.
Wondle plus Wondle. What does that equal?
What does it equal?
Toodle.